Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan, and this is Opinionated Moms.
Okay, so we have a couple of stuff to talk about because I know there's been stuff in the headlines that you want to discuss, stuff that's been going on. So let's talk about it.
I am dying to talk to you. I've been like itching all week. Okay.
Okay.
So, first of all, back to Love is Blind. Devin put
Uh-huh.
out a video on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it, where he was
I did
explaining
not.
his ibuprofen addiction or lack thereof.
Okay.
So he says he was not an addict. He wanted to clarify this for
Okay.
all of the people watching. He was dependent on ibuprofen. I don't really know what the difference is. But he just says, I mean, I thought that was the definition of addiction.
That
You're dependent on it.
uh,
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. He was just like, I don't know why everybody thinks I'm an addict. I'm like, because you literally just said you couldn't function unless you took 20 of them a day.
and wasn't he crying on camera to both of these women saying
Yeah.
that like some
Yeah.
like,
We
do
watched
you
it
not
twice.
forget we watched this on TV? We watched
Twice.
this on TV. You opened up these girls. You're either number one, a liar, or two, you're just like delusional. You know
Um,
what I mean? Like, you forget you said this on TV. Like, that's why the whole world thinks that.
yeah.
I
That
can't
was
stand
crazy.
surprise though.
I was like, this can't be real, but whatever. Okay, I
Can't
just
stand
wanted to mention
surprise.
that. I was like, that's insane. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. There's so much happening. Okay, so I'll tell you, Camille
Good.
Grammer is like reaching for the stars for her
Okay.
moment. Okay. So we
Oh my
saw her
gosh.
a little
Okay.
bit this season on Beverly Hills for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said that they actually filmed another outing or gathering after that, but it didn't make it to the show. And I'm going to read you what she said. I'll insert it here for the audience. So it says, I'm kind of pissed that my second run in with DK, Dorit, didn't
Agreed.
air. I was invited by Sutton to an event at Kathy's house. Dorit came over to me, Sutton and Kyle, and started with her misplaced aggression tirade on me. I put her in her place. She was super nasty, and I answered right back. So she is really upset. She tweeted two more times about it. And she's just really upset that she didn't get her airtime where she put Dorit in her place.
I feel like Camille is such a like, I don't know, she's so interesting because I feel like it's such a hit or miss with her.
Hmm.
I feel like one minute she's like super like unbothered, the next minute she's like going on rants. And I feel like if stuff would have actually gone down in that scene, I feel like the producers would have included that. Don't you
Yeah.
feel?
Yeah, I do too, because the season has been like a whole lot of nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And is very repetitive. So I feel like any
So
chance they get to
repetitive.
like spice it up, why would they not?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Camille. I would have loved to see that scene too, but I producers didn't feel like it was good enough, so sorry.
You're like, maybe next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I had some other stuff. Okay, Lisa Barlow, your girl. So, we talked about how Salt Lake City is in progress for filming.
Yeah.
Didn't see her and Meredith with the other girls. So, allegedly, this is all alleged. I did a deep dive on
Okay.
all the socials.
Yeah.
Barlow isn't filming because she's saying that production, well, not production, but Bravo, the network, should be paying her $1 million minimum. So that is why she is refusing to film. However, she was spotted filming with her husband, John. So
Hmm.
now they're saying that maybe she's filming on her own, but just not with the other girls because they do have a trip. They're either on the trip or the trip is coming up, and she was not seen like with them, like getting ready
Hmm.
for it or anything like that. So we're trying to figure out like what's going on. There's also a blogger who Whitney says she's close to, and the blogger said that they've heard that Barlow is not filming with the other girls. She's refusing to film unless they guarantee her that $1 million. So what do you think?
Well, $1 million. Which one of the housewives is getting $1 million? We know Kyle, Teresa, I'm
I
sure
don't know
Melissa
anyone currently, but I
Gorga.
know Nene ended making $1 million, but she didn't come out the gate. She wasn't on
Kyle has
season
to be
five
making.
making $1 million.
Like, what season? What season are they on? Salt Lake City.
They're on season five. It's like five or six, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because I'm trying to Google it right here. Highest paid housewife. But like I just feel the demand, so the people love Salt Lake City for the drama, okay? Like, and
Right.
I think she's just trying to haggle, like negotiate, which I get it. I feel like she's gonna stand up for what she thinks she deserves, and she gets a lot of hate online. She's super controversial. She makes the show. She's not the show. I mean, in my opinion, she's the show, but let's be honest, everyone goes after Lisa because they have nothing better else to do with their lives. So I kind of think like go after your money, and if you don't get
She's
it, I
not
mean,
gonna make
she's gonna film.
she's not
She's
gonna
gonna
make a million
film.
dollars because so I looked it up. It says Porsha, Teresa, Candy, Kim Zolciak, and Nene are reportedly the only one, and Bethany Frankel are the only ones who made up to $1 million per season. And they were on their shows for an extended period of time. Kim even got a spinoff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and Portia had
Hmm.
Candy's had like what, three shows or four shows on the network
Hmm.
with her side businesses.
How
So
did, no offense, how did Cynthia Bailey earn more than Kyle Richards? I'm on Google.
I don't know. That's a
Like,
good question.
no, I'm not, because Cynthia Bailey isn't Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
Kyle
yeah.
Richards is Beverly.
I get
Nene
what you're
is
saying
Atlanta.
now.
I think Portia, Kenya Moore. No offense, like Candy, like Cynthia Bailey is like a supporting actress, a supporting role. I don't feel like she, I don't,
No,
like I just don't
I'm with you.
understand.
I'm with you on that. She's not main
But
character energy.
Lisa's gonna film. She's gonna do the season. But I do feel like I don't know. I don't feel like the season's gonna be good if I'm being fully transparent. I feel like the women, if they're not genuinely friends, it's like it reads so bad. Like these women
Mm.
are gonna come after each other. I just can't stand when it's too mean, when it's too low, when it
Mhm.
goes too deep. Like I get my own feelings hurt.
I think it's going to be the
Um,
same as like how Beverly Hills is this season, where we're just kind of recycling
and it
drama.
sucks.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it sucks so bad. But it's funny because this last season, it's supposed to end all that. Like they burned all that crap. Remember? Like they burned all that
There's no
drama.
burning.
So I, I know, I know. So, and then who are they? So we know that they brought Brittany back. Are they bringing anyone else back?
Everyone is
Um,
coming back, which I asked you guys on Threads actually who you wanted to see not come back if you had to choose just one. And the choices were Lisa, Meredith, Brittany, or Whitney. Obviously, Brittany had the most at 50%, but right behind her at 38, it was Meredith. So I don't know. I'm kind of with you guys on that. I agree. But yeah, they
um,
brought Brittany back, so we'll see how it goes. Last little tidbit I wanted to tell you
yeah.
guys, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is coming back May 15th on Hulu.
So
I'm
excited.
so excited.
So
And they're
excited.
dropping all the episodes at one time so I can just binge it. I don't have to wait. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. It's like I love when they drop all the episodes, but like I basically pull all-nighters to watch these episodes because I need to watch it. I need to know, and I don't want to Google like what's happened. Um, so I probably will be watching that like all night, which will probably give me a headache, but I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I've seen online, so Jen is pregnant, Michaela's pregnant, and
Didn't
then
Demi got
Macy's
divorced?
what?
Did you not know?
Demi?
Demi, sorry.
Demi?
She either got divorced or she separated.
From her husband? From her older husband?
Yeah.
What? No,
Like, who
I
else would she be separated
I
from?
don't know. I'm like, are you sure you got the right girl? Like, I feel like you get your
Yeah.
names wrong.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't follow them on like TikTok or anything, and I try really hard to
I
not.
don't follow them on TikTok either, but
Yeah.
like, I just pay attention to when they make news, and I did not know this. I did not know this. Oh my gosh, that makes me so sad.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, I had to double check it. Yeah.
Where's your source for what's your source for this?
Yeah, they got divorced.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I had no idea. Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Aw, that makes me really
Because
sad.
I was looking at I had never heard of any of them until the show came out. And then
Oh,
I
me either. Me either.
yeah,
I had
so
no
I
idea who
was
they were.
looking them up and they pop up, on my For You page every now and then. So when I looked at it, um it said that she was going through a divorce. I'll double check it. I'll double check
I'm
it.
looking at her Instagram right now, and she on February 24th, it's her and her husband they have a collab.
I'll double check it, but she was definitely talking about being divorced, and it was a recent video. It was a recent video from like
No,
a month
so
before.
she's been
She's
divorced
been married. Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's been married, but this was recent because I double checked the date and it was from
Divorcing.
2025. But I'll double check it. I will double check. I could be
Okay.
wrong.
I think you're wrong.
I'm not usually wrong, so this could be a unicorn of a moment. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
But we'll
yeah,
see.
and I feel like when it comes, there are a lot of things that I am wrong at. Reality TV is usually not one
Not
of
one of
them.
them.
And it says there's no indication that Demi and Brett are divorcing. In fact, they are still married.
Okay, I just want to double. She was definitely talking about a divorce. Now I gotta go find the video.
So to our listeners,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Okay,
was like, what? I was like, how did I not hear more of this? I was like, it should have been all over my page.
I'm sorry. So I actually
That
lied. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about.
okay. Yeah,
This is
tell
a
me.
good one. So back to Dorit.
Okay.
So did you hear that she doesn't pay her glam?
Oh, yes. Tracy Tudor was on Jeff Lewis. I love
Yes.
Tracy Tudor, by the way.
Yes.
Such a boss. Yeah.
Hopefully she will join Housewives. Apparently there's like talk of
You
her
think? Oh
joining
man.
the cast.
You
So
yeah?
they need a
Okay. I
shakeup.
would love they really do. They really, really do. Did you believe her? And did you see how Dorit kind of responded on, I think, Watch What Happens Live?
Yes. So, okay, so just quick recap for you guys in case you don't know. Tracy Tudor from Million Dollar Listing, she shares glam with Dorit and long story short, Dorit had her glam person do a couple of extra gigs, had them fly out and stay wherever she was to do her glam and said that she would cover their hotel room. So she forwarded her credit card information and signed, an authorization form for them to charge the hotel room to Dorit's card. And then the glam person put their card down for any incidentals and did her glam. Everything was fine. Did her glam a couple more times. A few months later, she still never paid. So the reason she said she never paid is because he sends an invoice for her glam to her accountant, and it included the cost for the
Hmm.
hotel room because he said they charged his card for the hotel room, not her card. Which was a mistake on the
Oh.
hotel, but that's not really that big of a deal.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, they charged my card by mistake. Like, just send me the money, right? Not a big deal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
he sent
Yes.
it to the accountant. The accountant basically was like, no, we already paid this directly to the hotel. He ended up getting it sorted out with the hotel and he was like, okay, that's fine. So he sent her another invoice for just the glam and she still never paid it. So, and because she shares glam with Tracy, Tracy was like, girl, you need to get on that and just basically called her out for being cheap and not paying her
Hmm.
bills. So after Dorit was on Watch What Happened Live and just basically said, like, it's not true. Um, Tracy tweeted and was like, it's definitely true. You're a liar. I've seen the invoices have not been paid and I think it's really sad, blah, 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 blah. And then finally, Dorit paid her balance with her glam. So, but I definitely believe it though, because her and PK have so much financial crap going on.
Yeah, there's always been so much stuff like publicly about their finances, which I've always thought was so interesting and so weird. And this girl loves her glam and she loves her fashion and she owns really expensive pieces that I'm just like, how do you afford all that when like there's like stuff that your house is like in foreclosure, PK doesn't pay taxes, that I'm like, how do you like, I don't understand. Like I don't understand how you get away with all that.
I always
Um,
wondered that too.
but
He's always like, this is vintage. This is couture.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and they said on the show that the stuff she's wearing is like really expensive. And then I think they've said on the show too, or Sutton has said that like she doesn't own her pieces. Like she rents them or like she has to give it back. But I don't know.
I mean, that is a thing.
But
So,
yeah, that is a thing, and no shade, but I think some of these women pretend like they own it and like they pretend like they have it when they don't.
mhm.
But I'm not surprised, and I'm glad she finally paid because your glam team is everything. You know what I mean? Like they take the time to make her pretty for her to like, post her
Mhm.
stuff, and you should just pay your people.
Yeah,
Pay your people.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I thought
yeah.
that was interesting. And
Um,
I'm gonna segue us into Atlanta. I know I keep
yes,
saying one more thing,
I
but
know. That's okay.
Cynthia Bailey and Kim Zolciak are actually going to be on a new reality show. Did you see it? It's
No,
called Got to Get Out, and
yeah.
what is his name? Heidi's husband. That it just literally just flew out of
Spencer
my mind.
Pratt.
Spencer Pratt is going to be on
Mm-hmm.
there. A whole bunch of people from like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, like Big Brother,
Mm-hmm.
like a whole bunch of people are
What
going to
what
be.
um what network are they gonna show this on? Like ABC, NBC, Bravo,
It's going to be on
Peacock?
Hulu, and I was premieres April 11th. So it's basically like
Oh,
there was this show very similar that was on Netflix if you didn't see it, and if I'm not mistaken, it was called like The Traitors or some not The Traitors or like Trust. It
on
was called
Netflix?
Trust. It was on Netflix and it
Oh,
was called
Trust.
Trust.
I didn't
It
see
was
it. I've
so
heard of
good.
it.
It was so good. But it's
Yeah.
essentially the same thing. You have to do competitions to get money, and then somebody might, take all the money for themselves and blah 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 blah. So it's a
Mhm.
lot of it's like the traders, essentially. That's what it's called.
Okay. It's funny because like I know what goes on Traders, but I don't watch it. I really need to watch it. Everyone tells me how good it is.
It's so good.
I
So
know, I
the
know. I don't know what I'm.
anxiety I get from watching it, it's like good anxiety.
Yeah, no, we should definitely watch that show. It's called Get Out.
Got to get out.
Oh, got to get out.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Got.
and that comes out April 11th. And that
Yeah.
really is all that I had.
Okay, well, I love it. And now on to Atlanta, second episode of the season. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was very underwhelmed. Um, this I was
Yeah,
very underwhelmed.
as she fluffs her hair.
Yeah, because I didn't have nothing else to do the whole time I was watching it. It's giving love and hip hop. I was actually listening to Carlos King, his
Mhm.
podcast
I,
from last week. Um,
I watched it.
yeah, it was good, right? But I was listening
It
to
was
him,
good.
and he said exactly what I was thinking. It feels like really polished and very scripted, and it's not giving authentic.
Wait,
Like
but he loves it.
he was talking about, he was just saying overall, like it doesn't seem like authentic. And he was also talking
Last week's
about
episode?
when he had, see, now you giving me specifics. Was it last week or because they were
There's
talking
only
about
been
Vanderpump Rules. They also talked about Tracy Tudor, and they talked about Beverly
Oh,
Hills.
then I must have not watched. If he recapped the second episode of it, because the first I watched last week where he recapped the first season of the premiere and the first episode of the premiere, and he loved it, raved, and he was like, "Atlanta is back." He's like, "This is what I've been talking about." He loves all the girls. So if there's a new
No, I'm not
episode,
talking about like the girls or the subject matter. I'm talking about like the way that the scenes are played out. It just feels very like even their transitions, showing them in their homes, you know what I'm saying? If it's very unnatural. It doesn't, and then they went on to start talking about the Valley and Vanderpump Rules.
were you watching a live?
No, I was listening to it.
No, no, it says I watch it on YouTube, and I'm just watching his videos. And yeah, the last one I see here is the truth about Real Housewives of Atlanta season premiere 7 days ago. And I watched that all the way to its completion and like he raved about it. So like I'm like, am I missing something? I don't
No,
watch
I was
them like
listening to, girl, hold on. Now I got it. We have limited time. Hold on now.
sorry, I just like I'm like, oh, I'm missing something.
This is from 4 days ago. I was listening to it on my podcast app
Oh, okay. So which one is it? Is it the
with
oh,
Gibson Johns.
okay, well, we'll talk about that afterwards. But okay, because I just thought he liked it. He loved
It's
it.
not that he doesn't like the show. It's just that it's the way the show is put together.
Okay.
It's very put together in a scripted way.
Yeah,
And he was
yeah.
comparing like if you watch so they got into talking about Vanderpump Rules. If you watch the evolution of Vanderpump Rules, they started out very much themselves, very
Yep,
authentic. There's literally
yep.
just a camera following you. And then
Mm-hmm.
it morphed into we're very aware of like our brands and what we need to
Yep.
put out there and that type of thing. And like it felt forced as
Yeah, I
far
could
as
see
the
that.
production of it. That's what he was that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
I could see that. Okay, sorry.
But
All that to say.
specifically with the new girls, that's how it felt very I don't know if it's because I'm just used to like Porsha and Kenya and Cynthia, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because I'm used to them, but
Yeah.
the new girls specifically, like I don't like Brit. There's just something in me. I feel like she's just like irking. She's like pushing that button. I don't know. I don't like it.
I feel like, I'll be honest, I feel like it's really hard for any franchise after everyone knows if you're not watching Housewives, you know at least what it's about, okay?
Hmm.
And I feel like in any franchise for a newbie to come in for someone who's been there for so long, they're good at what they do. I feel like these girls, they're all fans. They all research, they're studying, they're trying to dig up dirt. They know they have to come in and make an impact right away. They know they have to get like catty, and so it just feels so forced sometimes. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to have a moment. And Brit, I I just don't know. I feel like I need more time with her. I'm biased. I know what Kenya did is wrong, and I'm dying to see that unfold because like the whole cast stands behind Brit in the situation. So clearly Kenya messed up, and Kenya has taken accountability for it. But Brit, I don't know. I don't know. She's not really doing it for me yet. She's not. Kelly, I like Kelly's story.
I like
I'll
her
be
story,
honest.
yeah.
Like, that's the stuff to me that I feel like so many women can relate to. A single mom, she's going through a divorce. Co-parenting is not easy. She's got four girls that she's got to raise. And she's a businesswoman. I love her story. Um, so I'm more intrigued about her. Brit, I can do without her. But
Yeah,
like
she
I
just
want to see
seems
more.
really like it just seems fake. It just seems forced. Like even her relationship with her husband, like I'm not saying they don't love each other. I'm just saying that he seems like he doesn't really want to be there. He's kind of just like, where do you want me to stand?
He's kind of like a Greg in Potomac. You know how like Kay and him, Kiarna, her
Hmm.
husband, not her husband, her boyfriend, he's kind
Yeah.
of like shows up in flip-flops when they go out to eat. Do you remember that?
Yes.
The
Oh my
producers
gosh.
did him so dirty for like showing his sandals more than once. And I would not let my husband go to a really nice place. She's all decked out and he's in sandals.
I would be so annoyed. But I feel like Nick, well, if we were going to like a really nice restaurant, Nick would dress up, but like he's a sweats guy. He's wearing sweats and flops everywhere. Everywhere.
But like if you're looking from head to toe, you got a nice dress on, you got your hair and makeup done.
No, he would put something on, yeah. But
Okay, okay.
I mean,
Um,
but
but
that
yeah,
they're a whole different story. So that
they are.
doesn't surprise me
Yeah.
about them.
But yeah, Britt's husband, you could tell he's not really here for the cameras, and I can respect that. I don't know. It's weird. And then when she told him, "You want to join me and my mom in the hot tub?" and he's like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, that was weird. In the sauna. She was
On the
like,
sauna.
because when she said it, I was like, why would you offer that? That sounds, I
I
don't want to
know,
look at
like
your
that's
naked mom.
weird. That's weird.
Like, what? Yeah.
Um, okay, now what about the whole? Because I asked on Threads. I don't know if you
You
saw.
did.
Um,
I looked at the results right before this.
like, do you feel that Portia is too pressed about Drew having Dennis filming with Drew, or do you feel like Portia's just stressed and is just upset at anything and everybody?
I actually agree with our people on Threads. 61% said Portia's doing a little too much, and I agree. The reason I agree is because it just seems really strange. Like she didn't give like a real reason as to why he can't film unless there's like something she's not telling to the cameras, but she didn't give a real reason of why he can't be on camera with Drew. Like, how does that hurt you? I could see her
Hmm.
being annoyed that like she didn't know, like, oh, well, my baby daddy is filming with my friend. Like, why didn't anybody tell me? I could see her being annoyed by it, but to like go off and tell him that he can't be on camera with any other housewife and da 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 da, like that's not your man. You know what I mean? So that seems
Hmm.
really strange. And also, he said out of his own mouth that he's friends with Ralph. So that means Drew has a connection to him outside of Porsha. She doesn't know him through Porsha. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Wait, I just remembered.
what?
I just remembered when when they're all at Shamia's party in her bedroom, and Portia was so mean when she said this. 'Cause she's like, "Yeah, for your birthday party," she's like, "you looked all washed out." And they show a picture of Drew, and then Drew was like, "Yeah, I had no makeup because I didn't have my makeup artist." And they show a picture of Drew, and Drew looked beautiful.
She looked good.
Her makeup looked
But she
so
wasn't
good.
full glam.
She
I don't know
looks
what she was talking
and
about.
like that was her birthday. And she's like, yeah, I had no makeup. I'm like, Drew, number one, you're a liar. You should have been like, excuse me, I looked good that day, so don't try me. And Portia was like, well, no. She's like, you just look stressed. You look stressed. And I was like, Portia, that was so mean. Like
Yeah,
she
I
did
think
not.
Portia's just being mean because she's got all that stuff going on in her life. I think if Portia was still with Simon and everything was hunky dory, then she wouldn't care about Dennis filming with Drew. I think I think Portia's just worried about Portia in this moment, which is not that she shouldn't be, but she either doesn't want Dennis to say something on camera or maybe she doesn't want to look bad. I don't know, because me personally, I'm like, go get your money. He's gonna get paid for filming. So give that to
He
our
is?
daughter. The he's gonna get promotion and some, I mean, he's been on the show enough times now. I'm sure they pay him something.
Well, I
I'm
thought the
sure.
husbands don't get paid.
Yeah, they do.
Um, I mean, I do think Portia came in a little too, it was a little too hot, and I love Portia. But I feel like the stress of what she's going through currently, she tells Dennis at the end, she's not trying to have more crap out there because she's already going through stuff. And I feel like with Dennis, I don't think he's gonna make Portia look bad. But I think she's just kind of like, no one gave me a heads up. It's kind of weird. And then she kept saying like this, this is like my show, and like, why are you coming? And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, stop saying that when these housewives are like, this is my show. And I'm like, no, like, stop. That's weird. Don't say that.
But that's
Um,
why I said I think
but
she just feels attacked from all angles because
I do. Yeah.
Simon's like trying
Yeah.
not he's blocking how she can film because she can't film in the house and
Hmm.
she's not allowed to talk about this, not talk, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like she just feels attacked from all angles and
Hmm.
that's why she was upset about it. I don't think she really cares. I think it's
Yeah.
just another thing
Yeah.
coming at
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And when she like calls her like you slimy, like low down, dirty low ball, and I was like, dang. I was
I know
like,
that was so dramatic.
did she really like I mean, like Drew's a liar. She's like Mia be lying. We gotta come up with a name for Drew.
Oh,
And
true.
what else happened in this episode? I'm trying to remember. Oh, we learned a little bit more about Angela and her dynamic with her
Oh yeah,
husband and her kid.
I like Angela. She seems
Yeah.
chill.
Um, and
But
whatever.
oh,
Uh-huh.
they went to work out.
Oh yeah.
Right? How do you feel about how Angela handled Shamia when she asked her like, why did you bring it up about Drew and Dennis?
I liked it, but like Angela, like all these women get so brave, like when they're like either behind the camera or where they're like in a smaller group. But Angela, say that to Shamia in front of the whole group. That was your time to do it too. And when they played it back, Angela did say a comment like, Drew, but why are you doing that? She's like, no, girl,
Right.
no, girl. And I'm like, it sounded like you were not on Drew's side then in front of the whole group, but then now in a smaller group, you're sticking up for Drew. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it. It's hard in a setting with when the whole girls are there. It's hard to get a word in. But Angela didn't really seem too bothered about Drew at the time, but all of a sudden now she's calling out Shamia. I didn't get
Yeah.
it.
I thought that was strange too. And I when they played the clip back, I was like, is she just talking about the one part where Drew said like, "Oh, Dennis has been my angel on earth" or whatever? Or is she
Which was
talking
weird.
about or like is she talking about the whole thing in general? And because I know Portia was also mad
Yeah.
about she was like, "You tried to set up a photo shoot for Go Naked Hair." And she was like, yeah, I want to, that's a thing that I do. I post about it and blah blah blah. I don't know. I think Portia's just angry. I think she's just
I
angry.
think she's just angry. I think she's just angry, but Drew was like Portia does support Drew, and I feel like she's hurt that they wouldn't have given her a heads up, and she's so angry. She's lashing out with reason, but I feel like she's taking it too far.
Yeah.
Um, so I definitely feel like this episode was a little bit like, meh, 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 but it's
hmm
like the second episode, so they gotta build up to it.
I wish Kenya
I'm
was on
excited
there
though to see
more.
this. I know, I
He's so
know. Like
shady.
I know, so shady. And I'm just like, dang. But I'm curious to see how that unfolds because it must have been bad if production had to like edit her down. You know what I mean? Like they're not
hmm
just gonna do that to Kenya.
Where is
Um,
Phaedra? Is she gonna be on this episode? I
she
mean, on
comes
this
on the
season?
last 2 weeks. She films the last 2 weeks of the season. So the season they do the whole season, and then the last 2 weeks of filming, Phaedra pops in, and they say that she literally is like it's game changer for the season.
The way they promoted
That
this,
she
I literally thought her, Cynthia, and Portia were gonna be like
nope,
the main focus.
nope,
Like, because
nope. And
I was
Cynthia hasn't said a word.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, and they said, but the
I,
new girls, they said that Cynthia was being messy when Cynthia asked, like, why did you say that about Portia stealing her husband from that other girl or whatever, when Kelly asked that last episode.
mm-hmm,
I don't feel
mm-hmm,
like that
mm-hmm.
was shady at all. I feel like if you're gonna put it out there and you're gonna ask Portia about it, why can't somebody ask you why you're asking about it? It's like every time somebody
Yeah,
asks a question,
yeah.
like if I sneezed, okay, if I was a Real Housewife of Atlanta and I sneezed and somebody was like, Morgan, why did you just sneeze? Do you have a cold? Why you asking her? She got a cold. She can't just sneeze. Like that's how the conversation evolves. Like, what are we yelling for?
Oh my God.
It's so
Yeah.
dramatic. In my
That
life, that's exactly how it goes. Like,
no,
you
that's
can't
you're so
question
right.
her.
That was so that
So dramatic.
yeah, it was so funny. Yeah, but overall though, this episode, I mean, I feel like the first episode was so good, and then the second one was kind of like, meh, you know. So I'm excited for the season though to see it play out.
Yeah.
So it was good. And then just real quick, let's talk about Beverly Hills.
Oh, I forgot all about
Last they okay. Most important part is they get to their cast. They get to the trip.
Yes.
They're all in their villas, you know. And what do you think is going to go down?
I think it's just gonna be another Dorit and Sutton moment. From the looks of it, it looks like they're finally gonna try to get Sutton to like self-reflect and be like, you
Do you
are
think
part of the
she's going to
problem.
self-reflect?
I think they're gonna try to get her to do that, but they've done that they've tried that before. I think it's hard. Okay, this is another thing that Carlos King said in his 4 days ago. Today's the 17th, so 4 days ago, he posted this podcast where he was saying that Garcelle says really good stuff in her confessionals, which we talked about last week. But she doesn't say
Mhm.
anything, especially to Sutton's face. So the fact that she talked in her confession,
Wait, Carlos King said this?
yes, she talked in her confessionals about how like Sutton
We're
is
not the
afraid of
only ones who
Kyle.
say this then.
Right. Sutton's afraid of Kyle, and nobody wants to say anything to her because Kyle is either afraid of her or she just really, really wants her friendship. Either way, she's not saying anything to her face. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
why she holds back and she takes out her anger on Dorit because Dorit and Kyle have now gotten to a point where they can say things very candidly to each other and openly. And
Mm-hmm.
Erica and Kyle have that
Mm-hmm.
relationship. And I think Sutton is just so upset with herself that she can't let it out. And that's what's happening in
Mm-hmm.
her argument with Dorit is that they're both wrong, right? So Dorit, as
Yeah.
much as Dorit gets on my nerves, not as much as Sutton, but Dorit can at least say like, okay, you didn't like that I did that. I apologize. I won't do it anymore. The
Hmm.
reason it's not happening with Sutton is because Sutton cannot do that. Sutton will just say, you did this and you did that and you did that, and that's it.
Hmm.
So I feel like
Yeah.
everyone's going to try to get her to focus a little bit, and she's just going to explode like how she did in
She's
Vegas.
not, oh, I don't think she's going to be able to see it in the moment. And
Hmm.
I just think that Sutton wants to be part of the it girl, the clique so bad of like,
Hmm.
I don't even know what clique they're talking about because like Kyle and Dorit just got good. Bose and Kyle are not good. Erica is the only one who's good
I feel
with
like Bose and
everyone.
Kyle kind of like tried to smooth
Yeah,
things,
they had a moment which I appreciated, but like the whole season so far, Bose
right?
and Kyle haven't clicked like that. You know what I
I feel
mean?
like Erica's just like chilling by herself. Like she's like, I just want to look at my wallpaper. Like,
Yeah. I just think that generally these women are not friends. And Sutton wants Kyle's approval. I don't know why, but
right.
but Sutton to me has like I think she's a good person down in the inside, but she just like doesn't listen, doesn't take accountability, and she's I don't know, like I just don't know. Sutton, I don't know. I feel like I feel like she's that kind of friend who when you see them texting or calling, you dread picking up their phone because you're just like, oh,
It's
okay,
gonna be
like
something.
I feel like she's
Yeah.
that kind of friend. But anyway, super excited for the rest of the season for Atlanta and Beverly Hills. The
Yeah,
reunion's
well, I
gonna be
think we
coming
only
out.
have like
Like,
2 or 3 more episodes in Beverly Hills. So,
I feel like it's like happening so fast. But
yeah.
anyways, so that is for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let us know what you want us to talk about and drop in the comments. Don't forget to like, save, subscribe, share it to a friend. Thank you guys.
And follow us on all the things, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. I love the difference of opinions, even though you guys disagree with us a lot. That's totally fine. That's why we're here, is for the
Yes.
discussion. All right, see you guys next time.